Arsenio Hall, Winona, and Johnny Depp on the next Rosie O'Donnell Show.
Tonight on Politically Incorrect, actress Illeana Douglas, HBO's Arlen, Robert Wuhl, columnist Stanley Crouch, and from Black Entertainment Television, Tavis Smiley. And now, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. Well, I hate to have to report this, but Andrew Cunanan, the gay serial killer, is still loose. That's according to two sailors he was with last night. No, boy, the rumors about this, I don't know if this is true. Now they say they've spotted him, people say, it's not necessarily the truth, they say he's in New Hampshire. You know, out in the woods or something, because, you know, where can he go to get away? And the FBI says they're not too sure if he'd be able to survive in the wilderness, although they do know that he's adept at rubbing two sticks together. So they think that he could probably... Where was the gay serial killer jokes when I needed them last year? But... Now, have you been watching the campaign finance probe? No. Even Fred Thompson's mother is not watching the campaign finance probe. But this week they've started now with the Republicans. Republicans are having to testify because they also apparently accepted foreign money, and they think that it was Chinese money because the money was laundered and neatly folded. Speaking of Republicans, and how many of you are Republicans? Yeah, there you go. Well, you have been having your problems because, as you know, there's been a big battle in the House of Representatives, the coup against Newt Gingrich. Well, today, Newt Gingrich said he wanted a cooling-off period. He said there's been too much blood on the floor here, and he knew it got out of hand when a rap music producer called him up and offered to sign him under the name the Notorious GOP. And finally, interesting, a report from the United Nations that said violence against women is the world's most pervasive form of human rights. Actually, that's not exactly what it said. It said violence against women is the most pervasive form of human rights. OJ. Okay, thanks for coming. It's all been satirized for your protection. Let's meet the panel. He is one of Time Magazine's 50 for the Future, the host of BET Talk, and author of Hard Left, Straight Talk about the wrongs of the right, Tavis Smiley. Thank you, Dan. An award-winning columnist for the New York Daily News, his collection of essays is the All-American Skin Game, Stanley Crouch. Stanley, how you doing? An Emmy Award-winning writer and actor whose films include Bull Durham and Batman. He's also star of HBO's Arlen, Robert Wuhl. Bobby, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. And finally, the star of Wedding Bell Blues and Grace of My Heart. Her next is a romantic comedy, Picture Perfect. I think I also saw her in that Teddy Roosevelt thing the other night. You were very good. Our longtime steady, Illeana Douglas. Thank you. How are you? Thanks for coming. Okay. All right. Well, this was not the biggest story of the week, but as viewers of the show know, it takes a lot to get me mad. And I thought this was ridiculous. The NAACP met last week, and they gave their President's Award to Don King. Don King. And this made a lot of people's hair stand on end, because Don King... I mean, I think I express everyone's view when I say he's a lowlife. And why would the NAACP give an award like that to Don King?
A two-pack wasn't available.
Ooh.
Slow, Robert. That's slow. I think, first of all, it takes a lot of nerve, respectfully, Bill, for folks who don't belong to the NAACP, have never supported the organization, were not on any freedom rides, were not out registering folks to vote, to criticize the NAACP for who it chooses to honor. Let them make their own decision about who they want to honor. That's first of all. Second of all, though, a little bit of
wait a second. I don't agree with that.
Don King didn't do any of that either, though.
What?
What you just said.
Absolutely he did. Don King.
Yeah, right.
Don King.
Yeah. What is Don King?
I'm no
please.
defender of Don King. He doesn't need me to do that. I'm not even a Don King fan. But Don King does have a good record of supporting African-American civil rights organizations. If they want to honor Don King, let them do it.
So you mean, so it's supporting financially, so whoever supports someone financially then gets an award.
Surprise, surprise, that's generally how it works.
No, I mean...
So, you know, you give $100,000, you get a plaque.
Exactly,
That's how it works.
But why are you supporting that idea? That's not a good idea.
That's not a good idea.
To give an award to people just because they give you money?
Oh, and so the NAACP is now the only organization that should be beat up because they do that, nobody else does?
No, but why should they be exempt from being beat up for crap like that?
They're not being exempt, as evidenced by this conversation right about now.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh, like your soul brother number 2.
Exactly.
We're here with my homie.
Yeah, but actually, that's not really that unusual that disreputable people with lots of money find themselves shaking the hands of reputable people. Sometimes having statues of them put in different places, their names on buildings like Carnegie Hall, places people involved themselves. Andrew Carnegie was not the greatest person in the world, nor were a number of those guys who were. I mean, that just goes with the development of civilization.
And people change. He could change. Maybe when he makes his speech, he could change.
Wow.
That's funny.
That is funny. Do you know that Don King, let me give you a few statistics. Don King has been sued by 25 former clients. I mean, he has ripped off his own people. Ask Larry Holmes. Ask anybody who's ever worked for Don King. He's been the focus of 3 grand jury probes, an FBI investigation.
And so have half the folks in Congress, but they're still there, Bill. I mean,
you know, that's easy to say, easy to get applause, but of course, wrong and not true. Other than that, you know, you could probably work for Don King if you're that slippery with the truth.
I'd debate you on that one. I'd debate you on that.
He's also allegedly killed 2 guys. You know, I mean, this guy, please, should not be getting an awards. It's not a racial thing. It's
Oh, no, I don't think
thing.
anybody was taking it racially, but the point I'm making is that vile people who become rich often want to connect themselves to things that they hope will scrape off a bit of the vileness.
Yes.
Now, if enough time passes, maybe, 1,000 or 100 years from now, people will just see Don King as a guy who had a very unusual haircut and was shaking Kwesi Mfume's hand, or former Frizzell Gray.
But it also raises the question, Stanley, don't you think, or Bill, whoever? I think it raises the question as to what you want these folks to do. So let's say Don King has led a less than savory life. But if he wants to turn his life around, if he wants to support the NAACP...
He doesn't.
Well, he has.
He doesn't want to turn his life around.
I'm not answering that question. I'm saying he has supported the NAACP, and that's who honored him.
Do you know what the last thing Don King said to Mike Tyson was?
What was that, Bill?
Bite his ear.
Ooh.
And by the way, where is that little piece of ear that they found on the floor?
It got lost in the ambulance.
It got lost. It's going to wind up on Michael Jackson's nose. That's my prediction. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher, brought to you by the Century 21 Real Estate System.
Ring up over $700 billion in sales like AT&T, people talk. Reach $1 trillion in real estate transactions like the Century 21 system, they must be talking to us. Because when you're this big, the #1 real estate system, you can do things others can't. Like average a home bought or sold by our customers every minute, every day. No wonder, in a nationwide survey, homeowners said they'd recommend Century 21 by 6 to 1 over the nearest competitor. So call number 1, Century 21.
A tracking device installed in a magnetic strip of a credit card could allow the government to follow your every move.
Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts, Conspiracy Theory, a Richard Donner film, rated R. Starts Friday, August 8th.
Now's a terrific time to use your Sears card.
So I see.
Using your card's the only way to get 10% off all appliances and electronics at Sears right now, even if they're already on sale. What do you think?
You know I'll be using my card.
I thought you would. So hurry and save through Saturday only.
One of the ways Ryder makes your move easier is by having a 24-hour number so you can call us with any questions that come up along the way.
Does Route 60 run through Phoenix?
Ryder, we're there when you need us.
There's a lot of conspiracies going on.
Theory.
Can you prove any of this?
Absolutely not.
Or threat. Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts, Conspiracy Theory. A Richard Donner film, rated R. Starts Friday, August 8th.
2 little boys, a shocking case, and they send their own parents to jail for life. Now, The Turning Point. The grown-up boys tell a different story. Thursday on ABC.
Holyfield Tyson 2, August 14th on ABC. See it for yourself.
Well, a lot of people suggest that maybe we should change our name. I mean, a warehouse is a big thing. Each of our stores is no larger than a men's section at a department store. Yet with service, I think, is, well, better. After all, the person helping you here didn't just move up from toasters on the 3rd floor.
Every day, more than 3,000 people buy a suit or sport coat at the Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
1-800-776-SUIT.
Welcome back. We're on location comparing the Toyota RAV4 and the Kia Sportage. Here to help us is Sasquatch.
Well, Dick, I've had near misses with both, so I'm a big fan of the anti-lock brakes. They're comparably equipped, but the Sportage is almost $4,000 less and was IntelliChoice's best value of the year. I'd take the Sportage.
Good point. Say, would you sign this?
That's not me, that's my cousin Earl.
Purchase a 97 Sportage for $249 a month or get $1,000 cash back.
If you're planning to be in the Los Angeles area and would like free tickets to Politically Incorrect, call 213-852-2655.
Okay, well, you know, apropos of our discussion of Don King giving money and then getting an award, this is sort of an issue that happens a lot on colleges. People with a lot of money want to give to a college and then sort of pull the strings and say, well, this is what I want for my money. The latest controversy was this guy, Larry Kramer, who's a playwright, a gay playwright. He wanted to give millions to Yale for a gay studies department, and Yale said, no, we don't really want a gay studies department, and I guess we don't need your money that bad. And he was offended, I guess.
Well, that's not exactly what they said. They said that they weren't going to accept money for something that had not proven itself to have any kind of academic validity yet. See, they felt like he was telling them to start a department. So in other words, if he had wanted to give a couple of $1 million to something that was already there, they would have taken it. But their official position was that gay studies, if you will, haven't proven themselves to be academically viable.
Yeah, but I think that, I mean, I'm an actress, so I'll make this about me, but they... I mean, but as a woman, couldn't we all use a gay studies class to teach us about hair and makeup and how to match your shoes in your bag, you know? I could use maybe a course like that.
And
no, no, my point is that if it's a gay studies class, is this specifically for gay people, for gay men, or is it for everybody? Well, obviously, it seems to me that only gay men are going to join up. And then what is what's
the courses?
Well, what about a black? They have black studies programs. They have Latino. They have, well, you know, if you're just a lefty.
They have gay studies. It's called the drama department. You know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, I was there. I mean, that's but I mean, what's the case loads? What course are they going to teach? I don't know. It's a lifestyle. Right. It's not like I don't know. Are they going to teach like Mykonos 101 like, or the history of the LPGA Dinosaur and Nabisco Classic or something like that? I don't know what.
Or do you do Alexander the Great, because he was gay, or Michael Bennett because he was gay? I don't understand. Or is it strictly political?
A terrible trend that on colleges they want to break down all the studies into your individual little areas that people, it's like making colleges into a cable channel thing, where everybody has their own, and a college is to broaden you, not to remind you of the ghetto you came from.
That was the point.
I use ghetto in the broad sense.
What disturbs me, though, is that African Americans, not just in this particular genre of studies on college campuses, but across the board, African Americans are always used as a litmus test. You know, and I don't like that. And so now you talk about gay studies, and now you want to demonize African American studies and throw them in the same bucket. That, I think, unacceptable. I think the reason why African American studies exist, not unlike the reason historically black colleges exist, is because there was a point in time in this country's history, one, when they wouldn't let black students go to white college campuses, and furthermore, when you got there, you didn't see yourself being talked about in any of the history courses that were being taught.
Those days are over.
Well, it's not necessarily true, Bill. Not at all. Absolutely not true. Show me where African American history on any mainstream college campus is still being given the respect today that it ought to be given in terms of being taught as a part of American history. That's why you still have these African American studies departments, because it's not being taught as a part of mainstream history the way it ought to be.
Yeah, but
So Larry Kramer feels then the same way. He would like.
Yes, everybody feels the same way about their little niche in life. Me, me, me. The study of me.
Yeah, but that's I mean, you know, you can't. I mean, you know, Americans have fallen in love with their mirrors over the last few years.
Well said.
Few decades. I mean, it's kind of a mirror-licking society, if you will. And I don't.
Thank you.
And I don't. But we're missing what it really is, because I was there. I served my time 7 years. I started to clear my colleges, 1968 to 1975.
7 years in college.
Yeah, you know, I felt like I was sometimes like I was in the Foreign Legion, but I wasn't. But so when I was teaching there, what it becomes is this: is that alienation has become a commodity that you sell on an academic market. So what happens is that you sell these kids an alienated relationship to the society.
Yeah, right.
Then people get hired. Now this is the thing that happens. If you start I don't like the word gay, if you start a homosexual lesbian department, because I hate to give up that adjective to a group. I'm sorry to say. You know what I mean? I just don't like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything against.
You still want that word?
I know what I mean. You know, consenting adults, fine. Gay, I don't like that. I mean, that would be like if they call themselves pretty or beautiful. You know what I mean? Or tall people. What would happen then? If tall meant homosexual, you'd be. I don't like that. You know, why do they get that adjective? And it gets closed out, right? So anyway. I could never swallow it.
You got a hunk for Def Comedy.
I could never swallow it. But the thing is that so what happens is when you start the department, then you have a special interest group, which are the teachers. So even if it's an academic garbage can, 2 years along, when the president says, we need to close this down, those teachers are not going to let you just fire them. They're going to get those kids together, because the whole thing is really about this, is that special interest groups have learned how to ransom campus order. So the white presidents sit up and they say, well, how much is it going to cost me this year to keep the black students' feet off my desk, Bob? And so they said, well, Ted, I guess 400,000 maybe. So they said, all right. Give them the 40,000. So then they said, how many, the girls, they want to come in here too?
Is girls
that
really how you think
that's what it is. I think, yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back to this in a second. Bob, we don't sound like that.
If you ever end up in some Ben Hur movie, in your new 97 Pontiac Sunfire GT, with its powerful...
Still loose. That's according to two sailors he was with last night. No, boy, the rumors about this, I don't know if this is true. Now they say they've spotted him, people say, it's not necessarily the truth, they say he's in New Hampshire, you know, out in the woods or something, because, you know, where can he go to get away? And the FBI says they're not too sure if he'd be able to survive in the wilderness, although they do know that he's adept at rubbing two sticks together. So they think that he could probably... Where was the gay serial killer jokes when I needed them last?
Arsenio Hall, Winona, and Johnny Depp on the next Rosie O'Donnell show.
Tonight on Politically Incorrect, actress Illeana Douglas, HBO's Arlen, Robert Wuhl, columnist Stanley Crouch, and from Black Entertainment Television, Tavis Smiley. And now, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher.
Oh, thank you very much. You're very kind. Well, I hate to have to report this, but Andrew Cunanan, the gay serial killer, is but now, have you been watching the campaign finance probe? No. Even Fred Thompson's mother is not watching the campaign finance probe. But this week they've started now with the Republicans. Republicans are having to testify because they also apparently accepted foreign money, and they think that it was Chinese money because the money was laundered and neatly folded. Speaking of Republicans, and how many of you are Republicans? Yeah, there you go. Well, you have been having your problems because, as you know, there's been a big battle in the House of Representatives, the coup against Newt Gingrich. Well, today, Newt Gingrich said he wanted a cooling-off period. He said there's been too much blood on the floor here, and he knew it got out of hand when a rap music producer called him up and offered to sign him under the name the Notorious GOP. And finally, interesting, a report from the United Nations that said violence against women is the world's most pervasive form of human rights. Actually, that's not exactly what it said. It said violence against women is the most pervasive form of human rights. OJ. Okay, thanks for coming. It's all been satirized for your own protection. The show. Let's meet the panel. He is one of Time Magazine's 50 for the Future, the host of BET Talk, and author of Hard Left, Straight Talk about the wrongs of the right, Tavis Smiley. Thank you again. An award-winning columnist for the New York Daily News. His collection of essays is the All-American Skin Game, Stanley Crouch. Stanley.